It has been there. It is not today. The bill has been there, Honorable Speaker. The report was done. That report in itself contains the amendments which are speaking to some of the issues which are raised. Now, the issue is, what time do we require? If I laid the report last week, what time do we require then for members to read a report that is that size? And yes, they are contained therein. The amendments for the committee are contained in that report, which I tabled. And the bill itself, like you have rightly said, has been in the order paper for a long time, meaning that they have read the principal bill, that proposal, and then they have read the report together with our amendment. At that point, I'm sure members should have started suggesting which amendments to make. So if I put my, I laid the report, can you protect me, Honorable Speaker, from the shouting member for Kikuyu? He keeps on shouting. I don't know, and heckling. I don't know why he must heckle. And Honorable Speaker, I don't know why you give him so much latitude. You should let me discuss the issue. If you're not happy, you can take your space. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm asking, if I laid the report last week, what further time do we require? It's been a week already, and that report, as I said, and I want to repeat again, that it has the amendments proposed by the committee. So is it that the members have not read the report? And I think you need to.
Let me, even the Honorable Diana Molo has a point of order. Looks like again you're on a mic that, sorry, mic is not.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Speaker, my point first is that, and I was here this morning when we had the debate on the bill, and there are members, like now shouting the highest, like the Honorable Sankok, who supported the bill wholeheartedly. All of them. And praised it and did everything. Honorable Baya, please. Yes. Now, they are the ones now shouting in the presence of others who are not here as if debate was curtailed. And in all honesty, debate was not curtailed. So the first point, Mr. Speaker, is to give you a direction. Do we kill the processes merely because there are members who are absent who feel that they were not heard? Because everything that I'm hearing is not so much about process, it's about the content, and they were not here. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, is your direction in terms of how to determine the leave of the House. Where something needs to be done with the leave of the House, is it determined by majority or minority? Because only 7 people I saw stand to support that idea. So, because the rules have always been, of course, is it to be determined that leaves mean unanimity of everyone, so that if it's objected by one person, it cannot move? Because unless that is the Honorable Ichungwa is really behaving as if he's in a marketplace. We were all quiet when he was speaking. And he's a ranking member. He should surely allow others to speak. Because if you are right, your point will sail through. You don't have to shout. So my point, by requiring that there must be unanimous decision on it, or is it simply on the determination by the Speaker? Because it appears to me that the majority would have wanted, to go in that way. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I really am happy with the guidance you've given in terms of what the House Business Committee did. Because it is true that bills should not stay in committees forever, especially those that need to be fast-tracked. But when then they've taken the move and brought it to the floor of the House, I thought it's in keeping with that decision that it is moved fast, not to again stall it on the floor of the House. So I'm getting confused in terms of what the House Business Committee actually intended. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry, no. What's your point of order? Honorable Ishomwa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, maybe just to inform my good friend and colleague, Honorable Tienda Molo. Leave of the House, Honorable Speaker, and I'll just read for him, standing order number 2. Leave of the House means there being no objection by any member either with the sympathy of the Speaker or with the support of at least 5 other members. And being a good and accomplished lawyer, and the standing orders are in very simple English, I thought it would be very easy for the Honorable Tende Amolo to understand that. But Honorable Speaker, and also to the chair of the committee, Honorable Speaker, it's completely out of order for the chair of the committee to be imputing improper motive on any member who has risen to his place, like the Honorable Owen Baya, to speak to some of the issues and the amendments. And the Honorable Chair is misleading the House that indeed amendments were in the report. And we know, Honorable Speaker, amendments become amendments of the House once they are approved by the office of the Speaker and published on the order paper. The amendments on this order paper were only published when this order paper was published last night. Therefore, it is completely misleading for the chair to be misleading the House and Kenyans out there who do not know that maybe the Honorable Owen Baya or any other member had not read the report. We read, and that is why members want time to be able to propose amendments and even to be able to offer your committee an opportunity to even do winnowing of some of the amendments that probably could be similar to the amendments that you have proposed here. Therefore, if, Honorable Speaker, now that the leave of the House has been denied, it is only fair that the chair ceases being too emotional on this matter and allows the House, because this legislation is to be legislated by the House, not by his committee, not by the member for Limuru. It is for posterity and for the benefit of Kenyans. He may not be aware that even members within his own committee are proposing further amendments to the committee's amendments. In fact, I was shocked when the vice chair, Honorable Gedi, behind here, was telling us that I never agreed. I never signed. I have not signed. And I don't know whether she has signed the report or not, or she was speaking in response to the issues that have been raised. But indeed, there are issues, Honorable Speaker, that the chair and the leader of majority must desist from rushing us into a process that will not be beneficial to the people of Kenya. And the issues of statelessness, as have been raised, don't just affect the people in Kilifi. I have constituents in Kabete, in Mogoga, some in the Honorable Muadhi's constituency, the Shona community, that has now moved to Rironi, in Keno, here in Hurlingham, the Shona community is there, Honorable Speaker. And as much as we have addressed some of the issues that we do not want to be rushed into, unless you have other ulterior motives that you are not telling the people of Kenya.
Let me hear the member for Saku.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have heard your guidance on this bill. I think this is not an ordinary bill. The content of this bill will have very serious ramifications on the Republic of Kenya and citizenry. If you just look at one clause, clause 70, it talks about rafts of issues: registration of adoption, registration of marriages, public pension, registration of taxpayers, licensing of drivers, national health insurance, national social security, refugees and asylum seekers, public labor records. Honorable Speaker, I like the way you have stopped this thing. If you look at this House, it is not your doing. Most of the members are out in their constituencies campaigning. But when this law is passed, and some of them will come back to be members of this August House, they will have a raft of issues to deal with. For that reason, the bill no longer belongs to the Committee of Security. It belongs to the House. The House will decide on how to proceed. Mr. Speaker, while you have rushed them to bring the report, I think they should not rush us to pass the bill. The bill must be soberly debated, and some of the issues must be canvassed. The issue of citizenry is so important. For those of us who are coming from border communities, to get an ID card for even the son of Honorable Russell takes not less than 6 months. That is a lot of time. What about the ordinary citizen, John and Amina? it takes 2 years, 3 years. For that reason, Honorable Speaker, this is not an ordinary bill. This is about the Constitution, because people will go out there and under Chapter 6, under Bill of Rights, people are going to challenge this bill in a big way. And this House must proceed with caution. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, Honorable Sankok, you said you are mentioned, but you appear to be comfortable. You are mentioned to have supported
adversely by Honorable Otiendo Omolo. And from his argument, if this is the type of lawyers that were promoting BBI, no wonder it was put null and void and unconstitutional.
Please,
Honorable Speaker, I sympathize.
Let's deal with the issues
with those who trusted him in BBI. So, Honorable Speaker, I was in this House when we were discussing, and we did not say that we don't support the Huduma bill. We are not saying that. We are saying that it was completed, the second reading was completed at 1:05. In fact, we went beyond the required time, the National Assembly time, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, from that time, and I think, Honorable Speaker, you should protect me from the majority leader, Honorable Kimunya from Kipiripiri. Let me assure you, I can only be guided by Honorable, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Right Honorable His Excellency Justin MUTURI, but not any other hecklers around me. So from today onwards, allow me to be there. You cannot tell me, step down, talk like this. No, she telling me she as if I'm your girlfriend. Honorable Speaker, no. I was here and we support the bill. But I have said that when we have a second reading, it will enrich what will come up with in terms of a committee of the whole House. If it is only between 1 hour, when will we have the members' contribution so that we can enrich and we can use the members' contribution to come up with the amendment, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is very clear, according to our standing order, that the leave of the House can be, yes, 124, can be denied only by one member with sympathy from the Speaker or one member supported by 5 other members. It did that. So why is the Honorable Otiende want to amend our standing order when it is still not time? So, Honorable Speaker, I think you have ruled, and we like your ruling, and we thank you for that.
Now, let me hear from the member for Seme.
Speaker, the issue here was simple and straightforward. There was standing order that was quoted, and there was a process of providing leave of the House, and those process went on. Mr. Speaker, what is now happening, we are back to second reading of the bill. We are discussing the contents of the bill. This is not the time to discuss the contents of the bill. This is the time to go by the procedure of the House in terms of leave of the House and in terms of the standing orders. And Mr. Speaker, what I'm seeing, there is some kind of institutional filibustering that is coming into this House, and people who know very well what should happen just want to buy time and stop important processes of going into the House. And Mr. Speaker, I think it's within your powers to actually curtail that. This matter, you finished it nearly half an hour ago. Why is it still going on? Mr. Speaker, take charge of this and let the process be curtailed, and we go on with other duties of the House.
Now, when the member for Kitui South.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, you gave us very good guidance, and you followed Standing Order 124, and we would like to appreciate the guidance. Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the Honorable Sankok to call us hecklers and says that these hecklers around me, Honorable Speaker, and also we have been following this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, some of our colleagues have been shouting to the leader of majority from seated where he is. They have been saying that they are being disturbed. Mr. Speaker, protect us from the leader of majority. And I have not seen the leader of majority doing anything. He has been seated on his seat and he has not done anything. Honorable Speaker, this is really, we are being mistreated, Honorable Speaker. And these members, especially the ones around the leader of majority, they are really harassing him, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am actually objecting us being called hecklers. Honorable Ichungwa is the one, Ichungwa is the one who is really shouting that at his highest point, with the highest voice shouting that the leader of majority is harassing him even when he's quiet, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, we are not a class number one. And Mr. Speaker, you have been very kind. Please also protect us from these members, especially the ones who are seated around the leader of majority. Around us, Honorable Speaker. Yeah, this area, Honorable Speaker, is the worst.
Honorable Kaki Nyamai. Honorable Rachel Nyamai Kaki. You spoke very well, but I was waiting for you to go for what is normally called the killer punch, but you did not. I thought after explaining all what you did, you are going to demand or require that somebody be required to withdraw and apologize. But you have sat down, so no. Now, let me give the member for Wajir South. Wajir County, sorry.
Mr. Speaker, everybody had Sankok say hecklers. Mr. Speaker.
Please, can I encourage you, honorable members?
Is he in order?
No, just a minute. I'm not going to. Don't. Honor members, can I encourage you to adopt the style of referring to each other as honorable members? So that, that's how we'll begin with the decorum. So that the member for Wajir County is the Honorable Fatuma Gedi. I religiously do that. So please,
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm guided. Mr. Speaker, is Honorable Sankok in order to call us hecklers when he knows we are honorable members of this House? Can he withdraw or apologize, Mr. Speaker? Because we are not hecklers, we are honorable members of this House. Thank you.
Honorable Sankok. Honorable Sankok. Can you withdraw? You refer to members around you as hecklers.
I never mentioned any member, Honorable Speaker. And a heckler is somebody who talks back at you when you are talking. And Honorable Kimunya have that habit of talking back to members when they are talking. When, Honorable Speaker, you gave me a chance to talk, he looked back and told me, shh. The last time we heard shh was people calling their girlfriend. So, Honorable Speaker, you should tell him not to talk back at us. Honorable Speaker, and
Honorable Sankok, all that, when it happens, you should raise it as a point of order. Now, to the extent that you refer to the members around you as hecklers, that is unparliamentary, and you should withdraw.
Honorable Speaker, because I respect you so much, Honorable Speaker, because
now, Honorable Millie Odhiambo,
sure.
No, you cannot be shouting. Actually, you are shouting at the Honorable Sankok.
I've said,
Honorable Millie Odhiambo, please. What is good for the goose must be good for the gander.
Yes.
So now don't protect me when you are seated. Don't. Honorable Sankok, please proceed. Let's clear this.
Because of the respect that I have for you, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable, our Speaker, who have led us without any passion, with a lot of diligence, and with a wisdom that can only be equated with the biblical Solomonic wisdom. I withdraw whatever I said, and I apologize because the facts are there, and I have withdrawn those facts so that I can massage their ego.
Now, are we not able to proceed? No, we can proceed with other business. No, let's not help him. Don't help him, because if you help him, Honorable Duale, what?
No, Mr. Speaker, I really want to beg Honorable Sonkok that yes, you have a lot of respect for the Speaker, and based on that you are withdrawn. But you must also have respect for the standing order and for the dignity of the House. We want you to have dignity for the House. We respect, yes, we respect our Speaker, but you know, the moment that the Speaker told you to withdraw, the Speaker represents the whole House. I really want to ask you humbly that you say, yes, I did it for the Speaker, but again, based on the respect I have for the House and for my colleagues, I withdraw and apologize. That's more better. It's more decent.
Now, you see, we are at the tail end. Now, if one person raises a point of order, you can't also say you are right. And please.
I have respect for all honorable members. I withdraw and apologize.
That matter should now come to. No, the Honorable Mwadi, I think let's leave this one. Now, this is my final instruction on this matter. Now, you know, the way to seek to speak is to press the intervention button. But with regard to this matter, please, not when I'm. Or with regard to this matter, leave of the House have been denied. I also order that, Honorable Cheruiyot, if you want to talk to people on phone, go out. Now, this is mannerless. I will, honourable members, I direct that the clerk will provide me with the proposed amendments, the proposed committee amendments, which I had not myself seen, so that I see whether to approve them as they are all or direct otherwise. Because it is true that they were just put in the order paper, they have not passed through my office. I haven't seen, I haven't gone through. It's not right for me to just have them put here. I will have to approve them. That is the procedure. Yeah. So, please, you must have your card. I'm looking here, I don't see your card. Yes, Honorable Rosa Boyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to bring it to the Speaker's attention that we do not have the prerequisite quorum to continue with business. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, very well. Just count.
But we will continue with the fuel statement.
Do we have the, do we have? No sign. No sign by anybody. This lady doesn't know. Just check whether there is quorum, and if there isn't, ring the quorum bell. The Honorable Rosa has, I believe you needed to say something on record today. Very well. Ring the quorum bell. You are short by 11. No, you don't go out. You don't go out. Honorable Shakil, don't go.
So now, if you go into this town, there are more fuel than in there. So the only thing they need to do, no, the only thing they need to do, let me tell you, there are more cars parked at home. But now, let me tell you.
But there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of traffic.
Near petrol stations.
No, on the road.
But I've seen this, I saw this in Mason.
Life is normal. Life is sensational. You can
I agree with you. That's
Very well. Honour members, now we have a quorum. We proceed with business. There was the statement read by the Vice Chair of Energy Committee. We go back to that one. The statement read by the Vice Chair of Energy Committee. Yes, Honorable Duale, you are the one who saw the statement.
Mr. Speaker, I really want to thank the Vice Chair, but Mr. Speaker, before even I go further, Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. And the answer given to me, the document given to me by the Vice Chair, doesn't have any government logo. The coat of arms is not been signed by any minister, not been signed by a PS. So, Mr. Speaker, I will give you first to see whether this document is admissible. Then I can interrogate, but I don't think whether I can interrogate this document the way it is.
Sorry. Honour members, this one, I think the House cannot begin to engage on this one. Honourable Cheriot, where did this one come from? It is not, it does not, it has no signature, nobody owns it. We don't know whether it is from government. It is on a plain sheet of paper. Nobody has signed it. So this information is from where now? The House cannot begin to debate this. This document, this one is inadmissible, please. Please don't give us this kind of thing. Yeah, sorry, Honorable Cheriot, this one you can take back to sender. Return to sender this one. Because we don't know really. And next time when anybody is giving you a document, if it's from government, please make sure that because this one now doesn't be, nobody can take ownership of this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'll make sure when it's coming back next it is admissible in this House.
Yes. So that it needs to be on
yes.
On official
document.
Yes.
Letterhead.
And at least it must be signed by somebody. And for us in Parliament, we said, following the Constitution, by either a Cabinet Secretary or a Principal Secretary.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Not those other amorphous bodies, within our constitutional arrangements.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
When are you able to bring?
Mr. Speaker, this, because it is only the authenticity and the signing and the letterhead, it can be done as early as even tomorrow, Mr. Speaker.
Very well, very well, very well, very well. Thank you, thank you. At least you have made this is reasonable effort.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We need to thank you.
Okay.
Yes, honourable members, then we move to the next order.
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole House.
I don't know, members, even as you go to Committee of the Whole House, you will only consider what appears in Roman 1, that is the National Electronic Single Window System Bill. Then we move to Roman 3, Children's Bill. What do you mean? I don't know, Millie. Which one? What? Oh no, Millie. Is it on this the business children's bill? Okay, maybe I think it's only fair we listen to Honorable Millie. I know you have been very passionate about this nature of bill. Forgive her. And I think it's fair that I direct from the chair that the clerk brings, as the House proceeds on the short recess, that these problems be sorted out.
Thank you.
Honorable Sotse has always raised this issue about the quality of ICT in the chamber. It's very clear that there are some mics here which are not functional. Proceed, Honorable Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for indulging me, especially after you had actually risen. I really do appreciate. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to raise an issue based on an earlier decision you had made in relation, I think, to the Huduma Bill, which may also impact on this. Yesterday, we had an informal discussion based on a decision that had been made by the Speaker, and we agreed that I bring amendments. I was sending my amendments at midnight yesterday, and I don't know if they would be affected because perhaps you may not have looked at them, but I have very, very many amendments in relation to the Order Roman 3. I have very, very many amendments, which I sent at midnight yesterday. So I don't know how you would help us deal with that. Thank you.
Your amendments have not been factored here. Yours have not been they have not been reflected here. I think the information I have is that they are still in the office of the clerk. It is true, I was informed that you sent many amendments last night, and they're still in the office of the clerk. They're still being processed. Yes, Honorable Kabinga Wadai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, the bill we are talking about is a bill about our children and children of this country. And therefore, any amendment that may add value needs to be considered. And therefore, I would wish that we deal with this bill tomorrow, Honorable Speaker, so that we accommodate her amendments, Honorable Speaker.
Well, I think leader majority of the bill is in your name, isn't it? But the chair is, and I think what Honorable Millie Odhiambo has done is actually very good for the House, because it is true indeed. The clerk has reported that she forwarded a raft of amendments, very many actually.
Yes. Honorable Speaker, I think for the record, we had a discussion yesterday with the chair and with Honorable Millie Odhiambo yesterday. And we did agree that all those amendments be processed yesterday so that we could discuss the bill today. Honorable Speaker, this is one bill that has taken 21 years to develop. I published this bill in October last year. It's gone through all manner of delays and delays.
until this time. This bill needs to go to the Senate. I'm not even sure tomorrow we'll be able to finish it. So we will be talking of May. Realistically, even if we finish it in May, then we take it to the Senate and they publish, and public participation, we will end this House before this bill has seen the light of day. And I've been asking for that. So we did agree, we have minimum changes, we saved the bill. But given the circumstances, I'm not even sure whether there's any need to waste the time of the House tomorrow or even in May, knowing that this bill would end up not even being considered in Senate in the time that's left. So perhaps we need to also have that in mind. And that's why I had said, let's do what we can do today so we have time tomorrow, because even if we finish it tomorrow with this kind of numbers, we will not be able to put the question. So we put in the question in May, then take it to the Senate. And we know the story of the bills in the Senate. So it's one of those unfortunate situations. And I also want to I know the chairman may not have said it. I've looked at some of those amendments. These are the same amendments that were brought by organizations in the public participation. The committee has rejected some of those. So it's a very frustrating, it's the most frustrating bill I've had to process in this House. And it's so unfortunate that this bill has had to suffer the fate it's going to suffer. And the children of Kenya will be denied a bill that was going to help them and been worked on since the last review in 2001. Constitution has come into play. This bill has the matters have never been harmonized with the new constitution, children's rights and all those things. It's a very comprehensive bill. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing this bill seeing the light of day, given the circumstances we're in and given the season we are getting into in May and the fact that it has to go to Senate. I had asked the committee to fast track. I had asked Honorable Miri Odhiambo to bring her amendments earlier, and but they are only coming in today, and there are more coming in. So if we can do it tomorrow, the better. If we can't, then I'm washing my hands of this bill.
Honorable Millie, or you want to say something about this? Give her.
Oops. Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would just want to encourage the leader of majority to relax. There is no person who is more passionate about children's issues than me. Indeed, I have actually followed these bills from before I came into Parliament up to now. So the delay has not been Parliament. He only said it was brought last year. And actually, I brought a sister bill, which is the Child Justice Bill, even way before then. It has only just come to the House for the first, I don't even think it's come for first reading, but it has actually been published. So sometimes it's not our fault as the House when things delay. It delayed more outside the Parliament than within Parliament. But I'd want to say that even the concerns he's raising is the reason why we must actually look at the amendments, because part of what this bill is seeking to do is to ensure that the Children's Bill harmonizes with the Constitution. If you look at Article 53 of the Constitution, I'll give you an example, that outlaws discrimination of children born out of wedlock. Yet there are almost 8 provisions in that bill that discriminates against children born out of wedlock, Mr. Speaker. I am actually a person who should be worried about it. I don't have a child, so I should be worried. I don't know what my husband does when I'm here. He may be bringing me many children born out of wedlock. Even when I'm there, he may be bringing me a lot of children born out of wedlock. But, Mr. Speaker, because we are dealing about issues of principle, we must protect children born out of wedlock. So if we are in a rush, we want to pass the bill, which is comprehensive because it's large, but not comprehensive in terms of principle, then we are cheating the children of this country. Let us look. We are even confusing terminology. Differential treatment is treated as discriminatory treatment. There's a lot of confusion. The issues I'm bringing, I suspect, are not even the same things that the civil society is bringing, because I've not looked at the one of civil society. I brought one as Millie Odhiambo, Member of Parliament, Suba North, and chairperson of the Parliamentary Caucus on Children. I'm very passionate, and even if I'd actually suggested to the leader of majority, if he can even request that we sit until midnight tomorrow, that's okay. I'll be here. As a matter of fact, I'm not well, but I've been coming to Parliament because of this bill. So let us sit until midnight, and we deal with this bill. So long as Honorable Sankok will not raise on a point of order, I'm very happy to be here until midnight tomorrow, or even to sitting to Friday. I'll be here. Honorable Sankok has agreed we can sit until Friday, so long as we deal with this bill. So I think the leader of majority, all you need to do is we talk using the office of the speaker, so we talk to the Senate so that they can prioritize it when it goes there, so that they don't sit on it the way they sit on other bills like my assisted reproduction technology bill. Thank you.
Yeah, the Honorable Millie Odhiambo is a victim of bicameralism. Honorable Kapinga Wachira.
Thank you again, Honorable Speaker. I just want to remove the notion that this bill may have delayed in the hands of the committee, Honorable Speaker. This bill, if there is any bill we have put in time, Honorable Speaker, is this bill. Honorable Speaker, I received the committee amendment draft at 1, and I had to sit with a lawyer from 1 to the time I came in here, not even lunch, Honorable Speaker, have I had, going through all the clauses. And this has been a trend where our lawyers and clerks feel a little bit overwhelmed by the many amendments that we have received. Honorable Speaker, the bill, when I tabled the report of the committee, people were wondering what I was holding. There were 2 volumes of amendments which we had to go through because of the interest that this bill has elicited from the public out there. Honorable Speaker, there are many things that we had to go through as a committee. We even had to make physical visits to the children's homes to confirm some of the things that we were told during public participation. Honorable Speaker, we also had to sit and understand the functions of the various stakeholders in this country in matters children, spending a lot of time. And therefore, I really would want to ask the leader of majority to appreciate that this committee has really committed to this bill. And I also want to request, just as Honorable Millie Odhiambo has just requested, that we don't let the time that we have put in this bill to go to waste, Honorable Speaker. And I really request you, if we can manage our time tomorrow and ensure that the preliminaries are quickly handled so that this bill is then put into motion and that we stay until we complete the committee of the whole for this particular bill. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, it would be really sad if this 12th Parliament could leave without completing this particular bill, given the time that we have invested on the same. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. I think, well, what we can do is to organize the order paper tomorrow in such a way that by about 3, we are through with the preliminaries. We can take out all the questions, the petitions, requests for statements, we can take them out so that we go to committee and we begin consideration of this bill. That I think will do justice to the bill. Therefore, then it means in committee of the whole House, the House will consider only the National Electronic Single Window System Bill. Very well. Next committee.
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole House.
Order, members. We are now in committee of the whole House to consider the National Electronic Single Window System Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2021.
Clause 3.
We have no amendment on clause 3, and I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. And I go on to put the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill and call upon the chair, trade, industry, and cooperatives to move the proposed amendment.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 4 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper. And the justification is to facilitate coordination and partnership with government entities responsible for customs, other relevant government ministries, departments, or agencies, and industry players dealing in trade or trade facilitation.
I propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the chair. And I put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I put the global question that clause 4 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Call upon the chair.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 5 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper. And the justification is Kentrade needs to commit to maintain the integrity and security of the electronic system.
I propose the question, which is that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chair. And I can go on to put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it, and I put the global question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. And being there no amendment, I put the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill and call upon the chair.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 7 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper, and the justification is the clause is being redrafted for clarity. I thank you.
Okay. I propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. I'll go on to put the question. which is that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that clause 7, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question, which is that clause 8 be part of the bill. Chair?
Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 8 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper. Again, this clause is being redrafted to make it more clear.
I propose the question, which is that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. And I'll go on to put the question, which is that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it, and I put the global question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 9, 10, 11, and 12.
We have no amendments on this, and I propose a question that clauses 9, 10, 11, and 12 be part of the bill. And I go on to put the question that clauses 9, 10, 11, and 12 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. We call upon the chair to move the proposed amendment.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 13 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper. The justification is to make it more clear and to provide practicability in implementation.
I propose the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. I go on to put the question, which is that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Honorable Okello, what did you just do? Please go back up the aisle and cross the floor properly. Now you have confused me, Honorable Okello. You know when you see somebody just jumping across the aisle, so I'll have a go at it again. I propose a question, which is that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. And there being no interest in contributing, I'll put the question, which is that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I go on to put the global question, which is that clause 13 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Call upon the chair to move the amendment.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 14 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper. And the justification of the proposed amendment is that it provides a legal framework for deregistering users who contravene the region laws.
I propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the chair.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Sankok?
Chair, I have a problem when it comes to 14B3, where a person is required or permitted to provide a certified copy of a document, and the document exists in paper or other physical form, that requirement shall be deemed to have been fulfilled if an electronic copy of the document is certified to be the true copy. So if the electronic copy is certified to be a true copy, how do you certify it? Is it good to say if it is coded? Because nowadays I see documents having a code, and then you just scan to see the authenticity of it. So is there a need to add something like if the code is authentic? Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Okello?
I thank you, Madam Speaker. Besides what he has stated, which is a code, there will also be a signature superimposed onto that document. So really, that signature, together with other security features, will make it pass as an authentic document, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Sankok looks dazed. I don't know whether he's still...
I'm not satisfied.
You're not satisfied. Maybe the chair will explain to you, but just make your point.
Why do you say signature in a world where we are moving towards coding? Or why don't we just say if the security features are authentic, so that we can avoid, because if you say an electronic signature, it means somebody can even forge that signature. But if we use the code, we will be on the safe side, or we use safety features that are in that document. I think now it will encompass all of them. My thinking.
Honorable Okello, you want to make clarification?
Yes, yes, Madam Speaker. In areas where there is forgery, that is criminal, and we have procedures of settling down criminal activities. The electronic signature is not a new phenomenon. It has always been in existence since the advent of computer systems. And electronic signatures are recognized in law. And therefore, my brother, Honorable Sankok, needs to be enlightened that even the certificate that he may get in order tomorrow will also be having an electronic signature. And that does not therefore mean that that signature makes the document unauthentic. It is just recognized in law. It is as good as the actual signature which appears on our checks, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, all right, but once again, I mean, Honorable Sankok, you may oppose if you want to.
I'm okay. Now that you have referred to UDA, then I'm okay.
I'll go on to put the question, which is that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I put the global question that clause 14 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Chair?
Honorable Chairperson, this also helps to give clarity to the issues that Honorable Sankok was raising. And so I therefore beg to move that clause 15 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper. And these are all issues that are supposed to give clarity to the bill. Remember, these will be electronic documents. Some of them will be coming from overseas. I think that's what my brother may not have appreciated.
I propose the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed by the chair. And I'll go on to put the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I put the global question that clause 15, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22.
I propose a question that clauses 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 be part of the bill. And I go on to put the question, there being no amendment, that clauses 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 23.
I propose a question that clause 23 be part of the bill. Chair?
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 23 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper. This is also to give clarity on the drafting of the bill. The clause is, the amendment is to offer clarity.
I propose the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed by the chair. And I go on to put the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I put the global question that clause 23 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 24.
I propose the question that clause 24 be part of the bill. And there being no amendment, I go on to put the question that clause 24 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 25.
I propose the question that clause 25 be part of the bill. Chair?
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 25 of the bill be amended as it appears in today's order paper. The justification is that this is a constitutional requirement and the courts have made constitutional interpretation to this effect, where, officers of organizations have to be competitively sourced. So there is also a grammatical omission that is being corrected as well.
All right, I propose the question that clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Sankok.
I think, Chair, the other chair who is around here, she's very beautiful in green, she's actually becoming so brief to an extent that we are not even understanding what is the import of this word. Because if it is competitively recruitment, it should not be an amendment, it should have been in the original bill. So what made it been left out?
Chair?
Madam Chair, and to answer my honorable colleague here, the clause 25 is providing for recruitment of the board members and the chief executive. And you see, it had only omitted the issue of competitive sourcing. Yeah, so that's what we are seeking clarity on. Thank you.
Honorable Okello.
Madam Chair, again, on MDS and other government agencies, in terms of recruitment, there is a mwongozo, which is a document to be adopted by these agencies while doing recruitment. And competitive is a word that clearly appears there. So it could have been an inadvertent omission, which has since been corrected here, Madam Speaker.
All right, I'll go on to put the question, which is that clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I'll go on to chair. Are you negating the amendment? That must be a word error. Let us put the global question, which is that clause 25 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 26 and 27.
I propose the question that clauses 26 and 27 be part of the bill. And there being no amendment, I put the question that clauses 26 and 27 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 28.
I propose the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. Chair.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 28 of the bill be amended as it appears into today's order paper. Again, just like the clause 25, this one is specifically on the CEO, that the CEO must be competitively recruited in line with the provisions of the Constitution. And also it has a further amendment to provide for the qualification of the CEO.
I propose the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. I'll say it again. I propose the question that clause 28 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Sankok.
Surely, I don't know and I don't seem to understand the import of replacing the advanced relevant degree with a relevant postgraduate degree. Why should it be a postgraduate degree? I think in most state corporation, according to Mwongozo, a degree is enough. Postgraduate degrees are only added advantages. And if you are so much educated, you can as well go and lecture in the university. But these guys can just do what is done, because most state corporations are like that. I've been one of the state corporation as a chair, so I know the qualification of such officers.
Honorable Okello.
Madam Speaker, it only buttresses the relevance of the same thing. It is semantics. When you talk about advanced relevant degree, it only means that it has been upped. It is the first degree, yes, but on this particular case, to make it more competitive, we are asking for a postgraduate degree. And it's just about semantics. You can choose to use the first word or adopt the second word. It simply means the same thing. But for purposes of clearer understanding by the Kenyan populace, we are adopting the postgraduate degree. Thank you.
I will go on to put the question, which is that clause 28 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I put the global question that clause 28 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42.
I propose a question that the listed clauses be part of the bill. And there being no amendment, I will put the question that the clauses listed be part of the bill? Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clauses. New clause 2A.
I call upon the mover to move second reading of the new clause 2A.
I beg to move that clause 2A be read a second time. The new clause 2A be read a second time.
I propose a question that the new clause 2A be now read a second time. I go on to put a question that new clause 2A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to propose the question that new clause 2A be part of the bill. And I'll go on to put the question that new clause 2A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 2B.
I call upon the mover to move second reading of the new clause 2B.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the new clause 2B be read a second time. The original bill did not provide for the scope of application of the Act in terms of the government entities and persons who will be involved in domestic trade, especially.
I propose a question that new clause 2B be now read a second time.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Sankok.
I support this one. It's very important that government entities and even persons who are importing or exporting, because Chair, as a country, we are really deficit in terms of what we export. We import almost everything. So if we have this leeway of involving this person not only in local businesses, although they are in counties, but also international business, we can breed traders from
the question that new clause 2B be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to propose the question that new clause 2B be part of the bill. And I'll go on to put the question that new clause 2B be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 2C.
I call upon the mover to move second reading of the new clause 2C. Chair.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 2C be read a second time. And the clause 2C is providing a new clause that is providing the principles of the bill. In trade, there are issues to do with fair trade and, just the governance, the governing principles relating to operations of trade. So that's why the new clause is being inserted. Thank you.
I propose the question that new clause 2C be now read a second time. I'll go on. Yes, Honorable Okello.
I thank you, Chair. This is a very, very important aspect of this bill because, firstly, it will be user-friendly, and that is why we are putting emphasis on this. It will be simple to use so that even those who are not as endowed with computer skills are able to just log in, put the necessary documents, and a transaction occurs without necessarily bringing in a lot of confusion into issues of this computer system that is generated for trade. And I thank you.
I put the question, which is that new clause 2C be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I go on to propose a question that new clause 2C be part of the bill. I'll go on to put a question that new clause 2C be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 25A.
I call upon the mover to move second reading of the new clause 25A.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 25A be part of the bill. Again, the justification for this is, remember we had the bill, clause 25, the main clause 25 is providing for how board members will come to office, the CEO and board members. This one is on how they can leave office, either through resignation, in case somebody is removed from office, through legal means, or if a person is, of course, passes on. Thank you.
I propose a question, which is that new clause 25A be now read a second time. Honorable Sankok.
Chair, even though I'm not endowed with English like my brother here, Jared Okello, but I will try, Ndajikakamua. This one is a bit superficial. You see like 25A, but go to sub article C or part C. A member of the board can be removed from the office. A is when he resigns, that is okay. Of course, when he dies, I don't see maybe when they are incapacitated. But C is so superficial that is otherwise removed from office. Is it physical removal, carrying the guy outside the office, or what is it? You know, we have to be a bit, you know, we are in a house of rules, and you have to be, yeah, you know, the majority leader is saying it's a standard word, but at least it can be used if otherwise legally removed from office. You know, removal only like that. But what about in case of incapacitation? We left it out, which I think also in most state corporations they are always there.
Chair.
Honorable Okello.
I thank you, Chair. My friend can sometimes be a little funny. But again, Article 260 of our Constitution has delineated who qualifies to become a state officer or a public officer. And we are guided by Chapter 6 of our Constitution on Leadership and Integrity. At any time you usurp Leadership and Integrity Act, then you can be removed from office, up to and including bankruptcy. So it is already clear. So removal, as it appears in subsection C, emanates from Chapter 6 of our Constitution, Madam Speaker. And I thank you.
I go on to put the question that new clause 25A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I propose the question that new clause 25A be part of the bill. I'll go on to put the question that new clause 25A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Schedule.
I propose a question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. I go on to put the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose a question that clause 2 be part of the bill. And there being no amendment, I go on to put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose a question that the title be the title of the bill. I go on to put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And for purposes of record, the Honorable Mwaniki, you are the Vice Chair of the Committee on Trade. And so, and for purposes of the committee, you are actually chairing the moving of the bill. So don't go and overthrow the chair. It's just for purposes of the business of this afternoon. I will now call upon the mover to move reporting.
Thank you. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the National Electronic Single Window System Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2021, and its approval thereof with amendments. And may I also take this opportunity to thank the members who stuck, and especially you, Chair, for at some point I didn't expect that we would get there, but here we are, and I think we owe it to ourselves to say thank you to one another for seeing this bill the way we have done today.
At times such as this, you also keep the faith. That you keep the faith that things will happen. I will go on to put the question for reporting, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the National Electronic Single Window System Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2021, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now call upon the chairperson to report to the House.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the National Electronic Single Window System Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2021, and its approval thereof with amendments.
I call upon the mover to move agreement with the report.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report, and I also request the Honorable Ruth Mwaniki to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Mwaniki.
Madam Speaker, I beg to second.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable Sankok.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This is a very important bill, and I thank the committee led by the chair today is Ruth Mwaniki, who is an expert in trade, because she have really taken us through the Committee of the Whole House, and we have understood, and the amendments are okay. Honorable Speaker, the National Electronic Single Window System Bill, I think will come and solve a lot of issues that we are facing today as a country, because we had set aside some fund for fuel, to subsidize fuel. But I think because of red tape, and this one will reduce this red tape, some people are still sleeping on their jobs. That is why Kenyans are still queuing for fuel, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, and I think as we improve on this issue of a single window system, Honorable Speaker, will attract a lot of investors, and that means our economy will grow, Honorable Speaker, so that we can get out of the quagmire that we are facing now. Honorable Speaker, because today, generally, the cost of living has skyrocketed, and especially all liquid commodities are missing. Petroleum is not available in our pumps. Cooking oil prices are too high, milk is missing in supermarket shelves, even water is not available. The only liquid that is available currently in Kenya is alcohol, served at the right price and right temperature for obvious reasons. Honorable Speaker, I think with this, we will improve in our services and will be able to do more business and attract more investors and improve the economy of our country. I support.
Honorable Okello.
Madam Speaker, I thank you very much for the opportunity. I also want to thank my committee for banning the midnight oil together with its secretariat and the leadership of this House, headed by the majority and minority leaders, for taking us through this. And Honorable Speaker, if there is anything that we have learned in the recent past, is that with Corona, we do not necessarily have to be physically present anywhere to do any transaction. And therefore, this bill is going to address those gaps that have existed for way too long, that a transaction can be completed electronically without necessarily having to travel. Honorable Speaker, another good thing with this is that it eliminates brokers who have perfected the art of reaping where they never sowed. And therefore, once you shall have logged all the necessary documents with KenTrade and other partners into this, then you don't necessarily have to know somebody for a business transaction to be completed. And therefore, this is an important milestone in the world of business, making things very easy, and at the touch of a button, somebody will be able to get what is needed in the market. And I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Kabinga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would also like to support this bill. It's a light direction for our country. It places our country on top of others that have advanced in technology and ensuring that we are first and not second when it comes to technology, Honorable Speaker. And as my colleague did allude to, this is where the world is going. We don't need to be there to transact. We can be here to transact, and that is what is important for us, and I think is a lesson learned, more so during the corona times. I was really impressed during the discussions, Honorable Speaker, to realize that my colleague, Honorable Sankok, is really updating himself on technology based on the discussions, and I am hoping that he will use the same knowledge that he seemed to have acquired to understand the reason why we would have shortage of oil in the world, not Kenya. I am hoping too that he will be able to use the same knowledge to understand why the economy would not be as expected and why commodities would go up, more so as he updates himself with what is happening in the entire world, and especially in the war that affects major supplies in the world, especially in Russia, Honorable Speaker, so that when he goes out there, he'll be able to really explain to his colleagues out there, Honorable Speaker. I really support this bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Shaban, Naomi.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Nataka kuunga mkono wenzangu ya kwamba wakati huu kila kitu ulimwengu mzima inafanywa kupitia mitandao ya teknolojia. Kwa hivyo Wakenya tunajiunga na wengine ulimwenguni ili kuweza kufanya mambo katika mtindo wa kisasa. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni dhahiri kuwa ulimwengu mzima sasa umekuwa kijiji kimoja. Na vile umekuwa kijiji kimoja, pia sisi wa Kenya tunajiunga na wenzetu tuwe kijijini mle ili tuweze kufanya shughuli zetu tukipitia dirisha hili la teknolojia ili kuweza kuwa na mitindo ya kisasa. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable members, we will have to move on, and because of the House is not fully constituted for business, we will skip into the next order. And we will put the question on this one when it comes back in the order paper.
Order number 11, the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2021, second reading.
Leader of Majority.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2021, be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, as we all know, disaster management in Kenya has always been a challenge and remains quite a challenge. Every so often, we faced by various disasters, some unpredictable, some unusual, some very unsettling, and some it's almost disasters we could have predicted but we didn't, or we could have acted on or prevented but we haven't. And the key question that lingers or should keep lingering in our minds as we debate on this bill is how have we in the past handled disasters? What lessons have we learned from those experiences, and what can we do with those lessons so that we can improve on our responses in the future? And that's basically the driving force behind this bill, to draw on the experiences, lessons that have been learned, and prepare more adequately for the future. Honorable Speaker, this bill then aims to achieve a couple of objectives. And first one is to anchor within a legal framework the policies and structures for disaster risk management. The second key objective is to establish and equip certainly so that we have some effective and coordinated disaster preparedness, prevention, response, mitigation, and most importantly, how we recover from those disasters. And the third key objective of this bill is to enhance the resilience to the impacts of disaster risks and climate change, both at the national as well as the county levels. Honorable Speaker, against the merits of the foregoing objectives, then the major guiding principle for risk management under this bill then becomes the development and adoption of a comprehensive approach to disaster risk management and the balancing between reduction of risk and the enhancement of community resilience, while ensuring that effective response and recovery capabilities. Now, as you are aware, we have in the past faced several disasters, and I said we faced terror attacks, starting from the U.S. Embassy attack some years back, and the Cooperative House. We've had national emergencies, we've had droughts, and in fact, I believe even right now, we're still having challenges of famine in some of our regions in the country. And there's different approaches being used to tackle those challenges. We're just about to receive the rains, and you can be sure there'll be flooding in some of the areas, especially, and this has been witnessed in areas that are close to where you come from, Honorable Speaker. Last year we were visited, or is it last year but one, by several, bounds of locusts invading our country. And worst of all, we had the COVID-19 pandemic that has really grounded issues, not just in Kenya, but globally. And in all this, the regular issue that keeps coming up is that dealing with these disasters and emergencies. And we, in terms of the lessons we've learned, is in about every report that has come as a result of the response, it's all shown some poor coordination among the various teams that have been brought to respond to disasters, leading to, obviously, loss of life and property that could have been saved if the coordination was improved. So, much as it's coming toward the tail end, we know this bill has been with us, obviously, since May of 2021, but at least it's found itself now into the House, and we do hope that we'll be able to process it in both two houses so that we can have a legal and elaborate framework for dealing with national disasters, because I think we called upon to do that. Talking of COVID, we know we've had to use the Public Order Management Act and the Public Health Act as the two main legal frameworks for responding to COVID-19 related challenges. But while these were there, and they helped in terms of the health-related challenge, an emergency, these two pieces of legislation cannot help us or were not passed in anticipation of the need to have this rather wider issue that tackles not just health-related disasters, but all other disasters. And we believe that with this bill, It will lay down the legal foundation, not just for what to do, but also the coordination and collaborative partnerships that will be needed so that we have all the various institutions involved in disaster working in concert. And again, this is both at the national and the county, because this will be, disasters happen everywhere. The Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, the Ministry of Devolution, and the National Treasury have all in the past, either jointly or individually or separately, formulated and co-published disaster management policies. But again, all this exists in the different policy papers, in regulations and all that. And this bill now attempts to bring all those together within a statute so that the methods and approaches for disaster management are now anchored in law. If I go to basically some of these policies, I think one of the policies which is already in place as a subsidiary legislation, our policy on disaster management, it recognizes that Kenya's economy and by extension its population can be classified as highly vulnerable to both natural and man-made disasters. And like I did mention, we are also prone to the vagaries of nature. If rains are delayed by even 1 week, there's famine everywhere. There's livestock dying everywhere. If rains come beyond a certain level, it's floods everywhere. And, and yet we don't have that comprehensive disaster management framework and to get out of these situations. Fortunately, we've also been lucky that we managed to manage each of the disasters and have held well as a country despite the challenges we've had. Yet we've not had this kind of system, but for some reason we are also resilient and we've learned a few things. But I believe by now we will not just be relying on the international community, but on ourselves. So getting closer in terms of the bill, firstly, we're creating an intergovernmental council which will comprise the various cabinet secretaries and the chair of the Council of Governors. It's a joint responsibility between the national and county government. And this council shall provide both the policy and implementation direction to cabinet on matters relating to disaster risk management. Among other functions, including also coordination and monitoring of the intergovernmental multi-sectoral entities that are responsible for disaster risk management. And most importantly, it shall also be obligated to provide a report to Cabinet, to the National Assembly, to the Senate, and to the county assemblies. The bill also establishes the National Disaster Risk Management Authority, which shall again be the implementing agency of the law, and all the preparedness, the mitigation, the recovery plans adopted or proposed by the Intergovernmental Council. And the bill itemizes the various functions, which is coordination and support of public awareness campaigns and the civic education programs on risk management, because again, most of the disaster could well be mitigated if people had all the information and the right level of awareness in terms of what they need to do to prevent and what they need to do when the disaster strikes. A second function will be the advisory, advising and facilitation of the capacity building for disaster management at both the two levels of government. We also, to be also be charged with the responsibility for coordinating and collaborating with the relevant regional and international agencies and institutions in disaster risk management, and the promoting linkages with the key ministries, the community service organizations, international organizations, both county and sub-county and community-based disaster risk entities, among other functions. And Honorable Speaker, then to my mind, the proposal to establish this centralized system of responding to and managing disasters is long overdue. And we know, like I mentioned, we've had several disasters. We've had lessons that we learned from history. And even there's been attempts, like I said, in terms of responses and bringing to. I'm also aware that we have a bill, the National Disaster Management Authority Bill of 2019, that was sponsored by the member for Kikuyu constituency, out of which he was here, so that he can also contribute to this, which was passed by this House, and not too long ago, and is one of the bills that have been forwarded to the Senate. We hope it will come out of the Senate before we other attempts. So I want to urge members that, as we've done in the past, we recognized, we support this bill, and even improve on it further, since it's it's one of the steps we need to take to put forward to get a palatable solution to challenges of disaster management. Honorable Speaker, let me also recognize the efforts by the Committee on National Security. They've spent quite a bit of time on this bill and given us a report. And I do hope that members will read the reports and bring the amendments that are required, so that before we close, at least this House will have pronounced itself on where it stands on matters to do with disaster risk management. With those remarks, Honorable Speaker, it's my pleasure to move beg to move and ask the Honorable Chair of the Committee on National Security and Administration, the Honorable Mwadi, to second.
Honorable Mwadi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this bill. And in seconding, Honorable Speaker, want to mention that this bill was first read in the House on Wednesday, 1st September 2021, and subsequently it was committed to our Committee on Administration and National Security, upon where we took the initiative under Article 118 of the Constitution and Standing Order 127(3) of this House to place advertisements in all media so that we could invite public participation for the same, and so that we could comply with the Constitution and also let the people of this nation know the contents and be part and parcel of doing or creating this law that is quite overdue, since we don't have a legal framework of engagement on issues of disaster risk management. Honorable Speaker, this bill seeks to establish the National Disaster Risk Management Authority and the County Disaster Risk Management Committees to provide for legal framework for coordination of disaster risk management activities and for other purposes. Honorable Speaker, the object, among others, is the provision of legislative framework for disaster management and to enhance effective and coordinated disaster preparedness, prevention, response, mitigation, and recovery. Just as alluded to the Leader of Majority, that has not been coordinated before, and therefore the need to have this legal framework so that those activities can be coordinated. Honorable Speaker, it further seeks to establish institutional framework on disaster risk management, which includes Intergovernmental Council on Disaster Risk Management at the apex, and of course, to the counties so that we have units that are also coordinating with that Intergovernmental Council on Disaster Risk Management at the apex. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the history of disaster in this country, we find that it was not viewed as an integral part of our planning, or so that those who are planning, Honorable Speaker, may have had an oversight over the need to properly plan, because disasters can strike any time. They have stricken before, they keep on striking, but for somehow we just used administrative procedures to address the issues that arise out of a disaster. So, Honorable Speaker, let me cite two occasions, like one in 1999 to 2001, when there were severe droughts across the country, and which gave rise to various initiatives by the Kenya Food Security Meeting, which was formulated to address the issue of food security. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, it is important to note that Kenya preparedness, this country's preparedness in terms of response to disasters, has been challenged by lack of harmonized policy, legislation, and institutional framework, inadequate capacity, and reactive rather than proactive approach to disaster management. Honorable Speaker, the situation further is aggravated by the fact that there are various institutions dealing with disaster management and related activities in the names of ministries, departments, agencies, and some specialized sagas, that is semi-autonomous governmental agencies, as well as county government. Some of the agencies, Honorable Speaker, for the benefit of members, is like the National Disaster Management Unit, NDMU, dealing with the disaster on one side. Another is National Disaster Operations Center, also dealing with the disaster with different parameters of how it deals with disaster. The National Drought Management Authority, NDMA, dealing with disasters in certain counties. And all these efforts are not coordinated, Madam Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, it is very important to bring all this under one legal framework and policy that will be properly coordinated with agencies that coordinate, and not only coordinate, they also have interlinkages that are going to address the issues arising therein. Honorable Speaker, in considering the bill, the committee noted in the recent years the frequency and magnitude of disasters that develop from natural and man-made hazards has continued to arise. And currently, Honorable Speaker, we all know that we are experiencing a drought, which is part of what disaster that we have in this country, and which needs not a reactive approach, but a properly planned approach, which would be done by such a body as being created by this legislation. Honorable Speaker, the enactment of this law will immediately inform transformational change in the disaster risk management in the country through, among others, the following. One, harmonization of policy, legislative, and institutional frameworks. The fact that there will be only one national institution charged with the mandate of disaster risk management will create order and bring about concerted approaches towards disaster risk management. This will strengthen disaster risk governance for effective management of disaster risks. And the second one, and very important, is recognizing the importance of effective coordination, which was lacking previously, that we didn't have coordination, and recognizing, therefore, the importance of effective coordination and communication at all levels and among all stakeholders. This will promote the understanding of disaster risk and encourage the multi-agency approach to disaster risk management. Honorable Speaker, the third one is that this act will be the premise upon which the government will inform the investment in disaster risk reduction for resilience. So we ask ourselves, how much has government invested in risk management? It is in so many institutions that you can actually not even put a figure on the table, that every one of those institutions have their regulations and the way they carry out their disaster response. Number 4, Honorable Speaker, is that enhancement of disaster preparedness for effective response and building back better in recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction. And the 5th and final one is the emphasis on the need to build capacity to respond to disasters and establish the institutional framework that enhances coordination. Building of capacity is the keyword, Honorable Speaker, that there are people who will be trained on how to deal with disasters, not the reactive manner in which you pick any other person to go and start dealing with disasters of special nature or which they are not even aware of how to go about. So, Honorable Speaker, in considering this bill, the committee made the following observation. And one is that the bill gives us the legislative framework, and we're happy with it as a committee. Secondly, is that it establishes institutional framework on disaster risk management, which includes, and this is very critical, as I mentioned earlier when I started seconding, that the Intergovernmental Council on Disaster Risk Management as the apex body and the National Disaster Risk Management Authority, which is to coordinate at the top, and that we shall coordinate with the other bodies at the county levels. And the third one is that the bill proposes to bring together the staff of the National Disaster Operations Center, the National Disaster Risk Management Unit to undertake national disaster risk management under one roof, so that we don't have all these units undertaking activities that are not coordinated. Consequently, therefore, Madam Speaker, the committee, having considered the National Disaster Risk Management Bill of 2021, in accordance with the provisions of Article 118 of the Constitution and the Standing Order 127.3 of the National Assembly, Standing Orders, recommends that this House approves the bill with amendments as proposed in the schedule. Honorable Speaker, I fully concur with the Leader of Majority that this is a legislation that requires the input from all of us as members of this August House, and that there is room and window to make it better. That disaster has happened almost in every other part of this nation. They may of different types, but disaster has occurred in one way or another in each one of our parts in this country. And therefore, we are called upon, all of us, to look at the provisions of this, the clauses in this bill, and even make it better so that we wholesomely bring our efforts to make disaster response in this country better. So, Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, I would want to really thank my committee members who took time off during this very tough time, and knowing that it's election time, to have quorum throughout the meetings that we had, and to sit and deliberate on this matter, which was very, very critical, do a report, and a report which has now was tabled in this House. And I hope members will also have time to read that report upon which will inform any of their amendments or otherwise that they may wish to bring to the House. I also wish to thank the Speaker of the National Assembly, together with the clerk, for providing leadership and direction. And finally, allow me, Madam Speaker, to thank my committee secretariat for their exemplary work in the provision of technical and logistical services. Further, Honorable Speaker, the committee in its entirety wishes to reiterate its gratitude to the stakeholders who made submissions on the bill. There were so many stakeholders who came, gave us submissions that have also informed the contents of our report, and therefore have also informed our report recommendations, and therefore we fully submit that there was public participation to its fullest. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to second.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2021, be now read a second time. Honorable Baya, yeah, is he here? Honorable Sankok?
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And it is very important when we are discussing this bill, a very important one, that you are the one sitting on that chair. And did I Lala Diroloiboni. Honorable Chair, the National Disaster Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2021, have come at the right time, Honorable Speaker, because our response to disaster in this country have been a knee-jerk reaction, and have been a reaction that is not coordinated. You remember when we had the 1998 bombing, Honorable Speaker, that anybody became a rescuer, even those who had no know-how. Honorable Speaker, you remember when we had the attack of Al-Shabaab at a certain mall. Everybody, including now the governor of Kajiado, became a specialist, honorable living people, and it ended up saying that there were mattresses being banned, Honorable Speaker. He ended up shaming himself and shaming the whole Maa community. Honorable Speaker, this is because of our